So, you're dealing with property in St. Petersburg. You know, there's one decision that can literally swing the value of your home by tens of thousands of dollars, and that's choosing the right appraiser. In a city as unique as St. Pete, getting that choice right is, well, it's everything. Let's dive in and figure out how to do it.
Look, whether you're buying, selling, maybe refinancing, it all boils down to one magic number, right? But getting a truly accurate property value here, it's not as simple as just plugging your address into some website. We're going to break down how you can get a number you can actually take to the bank.
First things first, we've got to understand the playing field. St. Petersburg is not just one big, uniform market. Oh no, it's more like a patchwork quilt of really unique neighborhoods, where that old saying, location, 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 can mean the difference between one side of the street and the other. It's a high-stakes game.
I mean, just think about the sheer diversity we're talking about here. You could have a historic bungalow where its value is all tangled up in its original craftsman details. For example, in Old Northeast, a local appraiser knows that a bungalow with original hex block flooring might actually command a 10% premium, and an appraiser from out of town? They'd probably walk right past that. But then, you go just a few blocks away, and the value of a waterfront condo is all about the view and the building's amenities. A generic one-size-fits-all appraisal just can't capture these critical nuances.
And getting that number right isn't just for when you're buying or selling a place. A really solid, accurate appraisal is an absolutely critical tool for some of life's biggest, most important financial moments.
For sellers, it means you're pricing your home correctly, right from the get-go. No guesswork. For buyers, it makes sure you're putting in a smart, sound offer. It's also the bedrock for refinancing your mortgage, for settling tough legal matters like a divorce or probate, and even for tax purposes with the IRS. In every single one of these cases, you need an independent valuation that can totally withstand scrutiny.
Okay, this brings us to a really, really important distinction. We all want an affordable service, right? Of course. But in the world of property appraisals, that word can be a bit of a trap. So let's talk about the critical difference between getting an affordable service and just hiring the cheapest one.
See, affordable does not mean cheapest. It means paying a fair fee for real value. It means getting a reliable, defensible report that a lender, a court, or even the IRS will actually accept without question. It's really an investment in certainty. And here's the real trade-off, laid out, plain and simple. That cheapest option, it often delivers the absolute bare minimum. And that creates a huge risk of it getting rejected, which forces you to start all over again. The best value option, on the other hand, is all about reliability for a fair price. You get a full inspection, solid comps, and a report you can actually count on. That's why, in the long run, the real cost of cheap is often so much higher.
So, the big question, how do you actually find one of these best value appraisers? Well, it's not as intimidating as it might sound. We've got a practical, step-by-step game plan you can follow right now. The process is actually pretty straightforward. You're going to start with online directories and review sites. Next, and this is a total non-negotiable, you have to verify they are state certified. Then, do a little digging into recent reviews. You're looking for comments about clarity, professionalism, and timeliness. And finally, confirm they have deep, real experience in your specific zip code. That local knowledge, that's what makes all the difference.
And what does that local expertise actually look like in practice? It means finding a firm that's truly based here, one that lives and breathes St. Pete's incredibly diverse housing, from the historic bungalows in Kenwood all the way to the sleek waterfront condos downtown. That deep, street-level knowledge is exactly what leads to the most accurate reports.
It's also super important to know exactly what you're asking for. Are you looking for a pre-listing appraisal to help you set a competitive price, or do you need a much more detailed report for, say, an estate settlement? Being crystal clear about your needs from the start ensures you get an accurate quote for the right service, and it makes sure you're only paying for what you actually need.
Okay, now that you know what to look for and what to ask for, let's boil it all down into a simple pre-hire checklist you can use to make that final, confident decision.
So before you commit to anyone, before you sign any kind of agreement, just take a breath. Running through this final check can save you so many headaches and make sure you're hiring with total confidence. Here are the 4 key things to lock down. First, one last time, confirm their state certification and their local experience. Second, always get a written quote that details the scope of work and the delivery timeline. Third, ask about any potential extra charges, for a rush job or a really complex property. And finally, and this is a great pro tip,
always ask to see a sample report. It is the single best way to judge the quality of the work you're about to pay for.
Ultimately, finding the right appraiser isn't just about getting a number. It's about getting certainty. It's about peace of mind. And with this checklist, you're now equipped to move beyond just looking at the price and start focusing on true value. So the only real question left is, are you ready to make your next move with confidence?